The Word of God is filled with treasure and truth. It has the power to change your life. God bless you as you listen.
Hearts that will win. Listen to me. Hearts that will win over principalities. Hearts that will win over problems. Hearts that will win over predicaments. Hearts that will win over poverty. Which are the hearts. Victory and defeat this year will depend on your heart. Secondly, success and failure will depend on the state of your heart. Thirdly, favor and disfavors will depend on your heart. Fourthly, acceptance and rejection before God will depend on your heart. Number 5, healing, health, sicknesses, and infirmities will all depend on your heart. You will enjoy easy, gracious healings this year if you have the correct heart. Then hear me. Rising or falling this year will depend on the state of your heart. Hear me very, very well. What I am telling you, I am telling myself, Alfred Itiowe. The true what of your life will depend on the true state of your heart. That means beyond prayers, your heart. Beyond fasting, your heart. Beyond singing, your heart. Beyond working, your heart. Beyond prophesying, your heart. That's what Baba says I'm looking for. Enough of walk with me and work for me with demented and defiled heart. God says enough. I will not take it anymore. You better listen to me very well. Beyond activities, we must all give special attention to our hearts. In Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence. Hear me before I continue. That means there is a strong battle for your heart. The devil can afford to lose everything, but he doesn't want to lose your heart. He knows when he gets your heart, you are finished. If many ministers know that, they will not run to on the problems they get into. If you know it, you will not run to any abnormalities this year. See, keep thy heart with all diligence, with all the grace of God upon your life, with all the gifts of God upon your life, with all the abilities that God has given you. Keep your heart with all diligence. That means if you fail in that area, you have failed completely. 3 things you need to know. Give your heart a personal attention. Personal. Don't wait for anybody to help you with it. Give your heart a personal attention. Number 2, give your heart a purposeful attention. Be serious about it. Because the devil wants to penetrate into everybody's heart. Whoever you are. You've been Christian 20 years. You've been Christian 50 years. That does not mean anything to the devil. You must give your heart a personal attention. Give your heart a purposeful attention. Then number 3, give your heart a persistent attention at all times, in all seasons, in all situations. Give your heart a persistent and a progressive attention. That means when things are okay, when things are not okay, when you are joyful, when you are sorrowful, when you are honored, when you are dishonored, when you are praised, when you are chastised, at every time, give your heart a persistent, progressive attention. That means the attention you give to your heart this year should be greater than that of last year. Yes. Your attitude towards your heart this year should be greater than that of last year. Because if you fail in the issue of your heart, you have failed in all. No, when we were even from primary school, they say whoever fails in arithmetic has failed in all. When we came to secondary school, you see if you failed in either English or mathematics, you have failed. But brethren, when you are in the Lord, if you fail in the heart or in your heart, irrespective of the miracles, the dead rising, the lame walking, the sick being healed, you fail in your heart, you fail in all. And that's why as we are entering this year, God is drawing our attention to this issue of the heart. When I wanted to prepare my message, Baba says, wait until I visit you. I will not give you an idea what to do. So I waited until he came. And he stayed with me for more than 1 hour. And he says, my son, my friend, give attention to the issue of the hearts of all your followers all over the world this year. There should be a deliberate and intentional emphasis on the hearts of all who listen to you, on the hearts of all who follow you. Deliberate, intentional emphasis. Then told me what to preach on, gave me the first point, the second point, third point. I say, Alfred, you can go and sleep now. Baba, I said to you, I should wait for him. No, when you don't hear from God, you will be racking your head. You'll be going here, beating about the bush. What do I talk? What do I not talk? Baba has told me what to talk. So I know it's not going to be about me. So as I'm coming here now, I look so excited. What I'm telling you, I'm telling everyone that there must be a priority attention to the art. There must be a personal attention to the art. There must be a purposeful attention to the art. There must be a persistent, a progressive attention to the art. Your art will affect and influence everything about your life, positively or negatively. Do you know that your heart will affect the words you speak? Do you know that your heart will affect the way you live? The way you do things. You may not know, because at times it looks unconscious. It looks subjective. It will affect your words. It will affect your ways. It will affect your worship. It will affect your warfare. It will affect your work for the Lord. It will affect your walk with Him. It will affect your will at any given time. It will affect your total well-being. When your heart is faulty, your whole life is faulty. When your heart is feeble, your whole heart is feeble. When your heart is fickle, your whole life is fickle and undependable. In 1 Samuel chapter 16, I'll read verse 7. 1 Samuel 16, verse 7. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, look not on his stature, look not on his charisma, look not on his grammar, look not on his dressing, look not on his anything outward display. Don't look at it. That's what is attracting some people. Don't look on his height. Don't look on his stature. Because I have refused him. You don't mean it. This lanky man, this wonderful looking man, this attractive man, this man with a winsome look. Forget about that. That does not make anybody acceptable to Jehovah. It's unfortunate that these are the things we are glorying in today, our external situation. Come to our church, we have Red Seas, foul. Come to our church, we have air conditioner, foul. Come to our church, we have this, we have that, foul. All those things are not the essential thing if we don't have the right heart. And everybody must listen to me today. Because anything done with the wrong heart is unacceptable. Preaching with the wrong heart, foul. Singing with the wrong heart, foul. Drumming with the wrong heart, foul. Anything you do with the wrong heart. If prophesying with the wrong heart, you're on your way to hell. Anything done with a wrong heart. Anything done with a wrong heart. Anything done with a wrong heart. Correcting people with a wrong heart is faulty. So that's why you need to listen. He says, no, I don't see the way people see. Then it goes further. For man looketh at the outward appearance, but the Lord, the Almighty, the Creator, looketh on the heart. At every given time, you see, looks at the heart. That is a present continuous issue. In the morning, he looks at the heart. In the afternoon, he looks at the heart. In the evening, he looks at the heart. When you are poor, he looks at the heart. When you are rich, he looks at the heart. When you have no property, he looks at your heart. When you start to have properties, he looks at your heart. When you have no promotion, he looks at your heart. When you start to have promotion, he looks at your heart. When you are young, he looks at your heart. When you are growing, he looks at your heart. When you are aging, he looks at your heart. When you are dying, he looks at your heart. It's a present, continuous issue. Every time, in all situations, Baba is interested in one thing. Hear me. The state of your heart. See, that's what I look at. If pastors will know this, they will get themselves orientated in ministries. If general overseers, general superintendents, bishops, archbishops, archdeacons, apostles, we know this. their attitude to life and ministry will be different. What does it profit a man if he gains the old world, he gains the old titles, he gains the old applause, he gains the old commendations of men, and he loses his own soul? Aye, great man of God, great apostle, foul, foul, foul. We should come to a point that we should understand the issue of the heart and what it should do in our lives. Even at the end of Paul's life, his cry is that I may know him. That was in Philippians. And the power of his resurrection. If you are not careful, especially you of you young people coming in, take it easy. At the end of his life, in Philippians, say, are they apostles? I'm more. Are they servants of God? I'm more. In this, I'm more. After all those things, say, let me now come into issues of revelations and visions and the ambitions. As I knew a man 15 years ago who was transported to the third heavens, and he had unspeakable words. He was referring to himself. After all those experiences, that came to Philippians. See, not as though I'm already perfect. Not as though as I've ordained. Say, but I want to know him more. I'm just pressing forward. And we still need to remind one another. I'm reminding any one of you and every one of you, irrespective of whatever experiences you have had. Some of us have had much, much, much more. Yet, we are still far away. So I said, look, I want you to have this personal issue this year. A more intimate and closer work with God. And then I said, I also want you to draw people who listen to you from all over the world to discover the lifestyle of very, very close and intimate walk with God. And let them commit themselves more practically to the way of the cross. It is the way of the cross that leads home. Not the way of excitement. Pastor, it's the way of the cross that leads home. You get out of the way of the cross, you get out of his pleasure. As you go about all over the world, let people have a more commitment, a more practical, a more solid commitment to the way of the cross. So God specializes in the issue of the heart. 2 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 9. For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect towards him. Hearing, thou hast done foolishly. When you do foolishly in that area, you are finished. He will show himself strong. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your sex. It doesn't matter your status. God is longing to show himself strong on behalf of those whose hearts are perfect towards him. Listen to me. You can have a heart perfect towards God. Forget about all the things people are preaching. Listen, I said it during grace. I'm saying it again. I still said it. I think when I was discussing with that kid, I said, look, that I have some very strong convictions. I don't have a total persuasion in what people are teaching. That you can be saved, you can be sanctified, you can be going to heaven, yet with worldliness in your life. Immanuel! It's not true. It's not possible. When God really touches your heart, when your focus changes, when your priority changes, when your desire changes, many things will change in your life. Say, when I look at his face, the things of the world will go strangely dim. And some of all those things still have rule upon your heart, rule upon your life, and you are telling me it doesn't matter. I don't care whatever any church is saying. I stand with my persuasion. Vanity is vanity. Anybody can say it doesn't matter. Like I said, it is when we get to heaven, we will know what matters and what does not matter. It's better to stay on the safer side. Not until you get close. I teach according to my walk with God, my experiences. You may feel good with something, and heaven may not feel good with it. It doesn't matter what any pastor or apostle teaches. It doesn't matter many of these churches that are going back from what they have taught. I don't care. You see, this is not necessary, this is not necessary. I don't know what are the born again in many places today. They will tell you it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No, sir. It matters. It matters. All I'm trying to say, many things they tell you, it doesn't matter. And some of you young preachers, be careful. Don't talk anyhow. Don't allow, because of your permissiveness, lead anybody to hell. Stay on the straight and narrow road. Don't give anybody assurances that the Bible has not given them. I'm talking about the state of the heart. Many of us, we want to get so excited in many things. But what brought me to this, I'm talking about persuasion and perfect heart. God wants to show himself strong. Whether you are young, whether you are old, he wants to show himself strong on your behalf. Pastors are changing. Overseers are changing. Ministers are changing. Go back to their foundations. They never started like that. All of them. All of them. All of them. That means they were deceived initially. Listen, I'm not talking about excesses. There are excesses. I'm not talking about fanaticism. There are fanaticisms. But I'm talking about some clean, beautiful things, teachings based on scriptures. So where are we now? Where did we start from our own Pentecostalism? All this our jangba, noisy Pentecostalism. These people knew God. Brethren, I'm still talking on the issue of the heart. They emphasized strongly the issue of the heart as God desires it. It's your heart that will grant you acceptance from God. It's your heart that will grant you the affection of God. It's your heart that will grant you appreciation of heaven. Your heart will raise you to the throne. Your heart will cause you to remain on the throne. It took David to the throne. It took Joseph to the palace. And today, it will do the same thing. Let me just mention 3 things for this message that God will want our hearts to look like. Number 1, the Lord wants to have a heart of gratitude. Number 2, the Lord wants you to have a heart of gold. Number 3, the Lord wants you to have a heart of giving. Now, I'll just read through my note because my time is fast spent. A heart of gratitude, a heart of gold, a heart of giving. A heart of gratitude is the heart that sees God in great and small things. It's a heart that never takes God for granted and never takes people for granted. A heart that appreciates the little works of mercies, both from God and from man. A heart that appreciates even the smallest, the youngest, and the poorest. A heart that genuinely says thank you for favors received. How many of you know what to say thank you? A heart that sees greatness even from little things. That's the heart God wants you to have. Hearts that do not look down on anyone or any act of kindness. Now this it can be. Now this one. No. No. It does not look down on anybody for any act of mercy. A heart of kindness or a heart of gratitude appreciates promptly. A heart of gratitude appreciates properly. A heart of gratitude appreciates persuasively. A heart of gratitude appreciates persistently. Yes. Such a heart avoids strongly all forms of complaints. Avoid strongly all forms of comparisons. Avoid strongly all forms of condemning, castigating. No. He just keeps showing gratitude. When you look at the life of David, as expressed in all the Psalms, you see that he was a man with such a heart. What shall I render? What shall I render for all that God has done to me? In 2 Samuel chapter 7, reading from verse 18. Then went King David in, sat before the Lord, and said, who am I, O Lord? Have you come to a point like that? That you can say, who are you? Who are you? Self. Like I ask myself and I tell you before my children, who is Alfred Itiowe? At times when they say something, I say, who are you referring to? Alfred Itiowe. If you don't know me, I know myself. Brethren, acts of gratitude. David came. Who am I? Who is David? Read through his life. You see the art of gratitude. You see, the art of gratitude goes with uncommon humility. Not today that arrogance and pomposity or pompousness is the issue of the day. Even look at the ministers, the way they walk. One person is carrying the Bible, another person is carrying hymn book, another person is carrying the bag, another person is carrying. These are kalimpa saba. These are unnecessary vanities in the church. I don't mind who is concerned. See them with all the fanfare. What? Because Baba took you from the donkey. Who are you? If not for the ministry. Who are you if not for the gospel? You want to even take greater honor than God who has exalted you. They want to honor you more than the God who has taken you from the dunghill to the mountaintop. Biko, why you? Look at David. Who am I, O Lord God? What is my house that thou hast brought me hitherto? And this was yet small thing in thy sight. O Lord God, but thou hast also spoken also of thy servants as for a great while. He brought himself appreciating Jehovah. Let me quickly go to the second one. Heart of gold. This is the first time I will preach on this. This talks of purified hearts. Hearts that have been made totally pure by God. Totally clean. Totally sanctified. Totally circumcised. Hearts where you don't find 7 things. Drosses. Dross. D-R-O-S-S. Death. dullness, deceptions, decadence, disorientations, divisions. 4 things that you never find in such art. Number 1, pride. Anybody who is proud has not known God. Whatever the grace you think you carry, whatever the gifts you think you have, if there is pride in your life, you are finished. Pride goes before a fall. Number 2, pretense. They don't pretend. You see them as they are, just like I tell you. They tell you about their strengths and their weaknesses. No pretense at all. Then, number 4, no prejudice, no pettiness. What is dross? A dross is an unwanted material that forms on the surface of any precious metal, gold, silver. Dross will cover it. Dross is waste or foreign matter that discolors and devalues a great matter. What is a dross? Something that is base, unacceptable in terms of the situation of a precious metal. When we talk about the heart, dross is that which covers your heart and does not enable you to be what it ought to be. It covers your heart from receiving very clearly. It covers your heart from responding very clearly. It covers your heart from relating very clearly. Listen to me. Do you relate with people clearly? If you cannot greet clearly, you are proud. You have a dross. It covers your heart. You see some people greeting. I won't tell you some things I've been telling Baba of recent. By the grace of God, I was telling him that the world has not seen humility yet. But I'm waiting. Who are you? What are you? Who are you? What are you? Parable. Who are you? What are you? What did I say? Dross will cover your heart. It covers your heart from receiving clearly. It covers your heart from responding clearly. It covers your heart from relating clearly. You want to see people, you look down on some people. Look at who are these people? Illiterates. Riffraffs. You are riffraff number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. You are number 1. You are the original one. It covers your heart from reverencing. Covers your heart from reckoning clearly. Let me ask you some questions. Are you completely straight in all your dealings? Are you completely sincere in all your dealings? Are you completely submissive in all your dealings? Are you completely saintly in all your dealings? Hear me, men and women, brothers and sisters, leaders and followers, hear me. Is your obedience perfect? Or there is a comma in your obedience? Yes. There are times that you say, I don't care. Whatever they are saying, whatever they are not saying, I just want to do what I think I feel like doing. Is your performance perfect? Is your followership perfect? Is your fellowship perfect? Think. Ask before you answer. Then finally, ask that give. If you look at that for this one, look at Malachi. In Malachi chapter 3, let me read verse 2 and verse 3. But who may abide that day, the day of his coming? Who shall stand when he appeareth? For it's like a refiner's fire and like a fuller's soap. And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and shall purify the sons of Levi and purge them as gold. Purge them as gold. Purge them as gold. That is it. Look at what Job said. In Job chapter 23, verse 10. Job 23, verse 10. It says, but he knoweth the way that I take. When he has tried me, I shall come forth as gold. Don't forget, heart, very important, of gratitude, heart of gold, and heart of giving. That's what makes your heart like that of God, like God's. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Listen to me. If you have difficulty in giving, it's a faulty heart. If all you are interested in is what to receive, what to receive, what to receive, not what you want to give freely, completely, wholeheartedly, selflessly, sacrificially, it's a faulty heart. Know a true saint by his attitude. And these are the hearts that will win uncommon battles this year. These are the hearts that Jehovah will support, strengthen, and show himself strong on their behalf. Let's rededicate our hearts and lives to the Lord. Any spot or small thing that is wrong in your heart makes your whole life wrong. And you may not be able to win all the victories you ought to win and fight as you ought to fight. But this year, watch over your heart. Guard your heart jealously. Win over the temptations of the heart. Can you be chastised and corrected freely? Why should they talk to me like that? Your heart, your heart, your heart.
Thank you for listening. God bless you